It's AM and FM, how you heard it in the old days. The new 107.9 FM and 980 AM WDDO, The Glory.
Call Forrest.
This is Ford. 43 years of experience, millions of dollars recovered for my clients right here in Macon. All of these lawyers from all over, they're not here. You got me.
Call Forrest.
Horsby Johnson and Associates. 478-257-6266.
Look out, Middle Georgia, it's Ask Elaine. Leaving no questions unanswered, no rocks unturned. Need an answer? Ask Elaine. Have a question? Ask Elaine. You need a voice? Ask Elaine. Yes, Commissioner Elaine Lucas is on The Glory, 980 AM WDDO, every Wednesday from 3 until 4 p.m. Ask Elaine wants to hear from you, so tune in and Ask Elaine on WDDO. It's AM and FM, how you heard it in the old days. The new 107.9 FM and 980 AM WDDO, The Glory. It's AM and FM, how you heard it in the old days. The new 107.9 FM and 980 AM WDDO, The Glory.
Here at the Dozier Law Firm, we've been fortunate enough to be able to do a lot of our work from home. We are greatly appreciative and thank every one of the essential workers that have been out there on the front lines every day. The Dozier Law Firm. Be smart and be careful.
Be sure to check out On With Don. On With Don, weekdays from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. with the best in gospel music on 980 AM WDDO, The Glory. History repeats itself. The new dynamic duo, 107.9 FM and 980 AM WDDO, The Glory.
Hi, this is Ortiz.
And this is Don.
We are the operators and owners of Roscoe Tours, and we are meeting your transportation needs.
Wherever you need to go, let Roscoe know, and we'll take you there.
Call us today at 678-800-3976. Booking is going quickly. Book your next trip with us, and I'm telling you, you can't beat the price, and the transportation is awaiting you.
We have the best customer service. Contact Roscoe. Let us take you there.
Let us take you there today. This is Ortiz. We're looking forward to you booking your next trip, your vacation on our wonderful buses, vans, and SUVs. 678-800-3976.
History repeats itself. The new dynamic duo, 107.9 FM and 980 AM WDDO, The Glory.
Well, y'all, there's a little song that my grandmother taught me a long time ago. One day I was sick and I wasn't feeling too good. But she said, son, come on down to the room. Come on in the room. Listen here, y'all. I don't know if you've ever been in the room before, but whatever you need is in the room. It's in the room. All you got to do is come on down. Come on in the room. Jesus is my doctor. He is.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Welcome to the Issues of Life broadcast with your host, EVELYN. This show will address health, religious, and political issues that our community face today. Let's go live into the studio with your host, EVELYN Reed, for the Issues of Life broadcast right here on the Glory 107.9 FM.
Hello and welcome to Issues of Life. I'm EVELYN Reed, and we are so delighted that you decided to join us today. Today I'm waiting on my guest. However, I do have my grandson here, Evan Donald Simmons, and if he will, we'll talk for a minute. But anyway, I just wanted to say if you have a question or you want to ask us anything, just call 478-250-1444. That's 478-250-1444. How is everybody? I am delighted to be here. I am so thankful for what God has done for me. I'm still here in the land of the living, and I've been through a lot since February, and God has finally given me a little piece that I can walk away from that. So anyway, if you will come to the mic, Evan, we'll talk a minute. School is getting ready to start back, and we want to make sure that everything is going well with the school system. Um, and anyway, we want to talk about Evan. Evan has something that he is getting ready to share with the public. Tell us what that is, Evan.
It's something that that came to my heart.
Okay, and tell us what that is.
It's where I decided that I was gonna create my own ministries and give out bags to the homeless.
To the homeless. So what are you going to put in those bags?
We're gonna put deodorant, body lotion, toothbrush, toothpaste, and lots of other stuff that I can't name because it's a lot. And we're making some for girls and boys.
And men and women, right? Well, what made you, when God gave this to you, what did you do?
I told my granddad.
You told your granddaddy? Did you tell your mom too?
Yes.
And so they decided to help you. What are you going to call your work?
Evan Simmons, My Desire Ministries.
Name it Evan Simmons, My Desire Ministries. And how can people help you? They can donate what?
They can donate $10 or more
to help you buy the items that you need.
Yes.
And when are you going to start this? On Sunday?
Yes.
And you're asking the kids of the church to help you out?
Yes.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So praise God for what he has given you. So anyway, if you want to call and talk to Evan, it's 478-250-1444. That's 478-250-1444. We are waiting for a guest to come in, and so I'm excited to just talk to you. Ready for school?
Yes.
What school will you be attending this year?
Maddie Wells Elementary.
Elementary. And you're going into what grade?
The 4th grade.
The 4th grade. Boy, I can't remember. I do remember one thing about the 4th grade.
What is it?
I got a spanking from the teacher.
A spanking?
Yes. She was just mean, but I was really sweet. I was looking out the window, and she told me to turn around, not to look out the window, and I thought that was really dumb. So the more she told me, the more I wouldn't move, and she spanked me real good. But anyway, I guess it was good because later on she apologized to me for doing that. So what do you want to do when you grow up?
Just live my life.
You want to live your life? Why? You have any plans for living your life?
Maybe just where I want to work at. Well, I've been planning on working at a car dealership.
You want to work at a car dealership.
Mhm.
So you want to sell cars?
Mhm.
Well, you can always sell me a new car, but you can have my old car. Anyway, um, so school is going to start on the 1st, right?
Yes.
And do you know your teacher yet?
Yes.
What's your teacher's name?
Miss Bloodworth.
Miss Bloodworth. And that's at Maddie Wells School?
Elementary
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm excited for you to go back to school, and I want you to do well this year, right?
Yes.
You're going to study hard,
Yes.
and you're going to obey your teacher,
Yes.
and you're not going to be a bully, are you?
No.
Well, that's a praise item. So you have a lot of friends there?
Yes.
Who's your friends? You can name all of them.
Only have a few. So some of them live in the neighborhood of my neighborhood
Mm-hmm.
since we go to the same school.
You ride a bus?
Mm-hmm.
You like that?
Yes, it's fun.
It's fun. This your first. Last year was your first time riding a bus, huh?
I had to get used to like when you get off the bus,
Uh-huh.
the bus driver directs you
Mm-hmm.
to like when across the street.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm so glad you took the spot here, and we're going to trade places with you for our guest, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Evan. So we have our guest. He's here. He is a brigadier general. He's retired, and he is also a minister of the gospel. His name is Jonathan McCollum, and we are so excited to have you here. How are you, Reverend?
Excellent. Thank you very much. It's my delight, it's my pleasure to join you and your audience today. I'm excited. And by the way, you look good today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Listen, so tell me what you're thinking about doing soon.
Absolutely. Look, I've looked around. I'm, as a retired general officer, having served 30 years, 35 years in the United States Army, I'm ready to transfer a lot of the wisdom and knowledge that I gained in serving our country, being the first black general from Warner Robins, Georgia, and actually born in Macon. So I'm probably the first general officer, as far as I know, from Macon, Georgia. I'm thinking about running for the Georgia U.S. Senate,
Okay.
the seat that is currently held by John Ossoff.
Okay.
And the reason that I'm slowly getting out right now, I've made a determination,
Okay.
and that is this: I will only run if people who are in my culture, people who look just like me, will also join me in that crusade to become their senator. So I have a long time to make that determination. And I'm hoping that by having the opportunity to talk to people at NAACP, at different churches, and in the community, to tell them, to introduce myself, tell them who I am and what I can do and what I bring to the possible Senate.
Okay. Well, tell us what you're bringing.
That's real good. Well, I bring, as I said, 35 years of experience. I've had the opportunity to command an organization, which is like a chief executive officer. Had the opportunity to lead that organization of about 6,000 soldiers and civilians. My main responsibility was to ensure that the United States would win. That when we would deploy in organizations, especially the Middle East, which is where I deployed and served in operational environments. So I would bring that experience as a leader, which I believe is the vacuum that's missing from our government today. And while if I may do a lead in, I first believe that God is missing, that the power and the authority of God is missing from the United States government, and that when we don't have enough people in leadership positions who are willing to boldly talk about God and what He's done for us and how He established the United States, I believe that we're really hurting. So I would bring that. Then I would bring the key leadership. And leadership is having the ability to work across the aisle and lead people.
You're bringing a lot. Uh, if you would like to talk to Jonathan, I'm calling him Jonathan, but he's really Reverend Jonathan McCollum. And he is, you can call us here at 478-250-1444. And he is in the running. Is that right?
Not quite, not yet.
Okay.
I am looking at it, and your audience, people like your audience, will determine whether or not I will run as a mainstay. Like I said, I refuse to run if I can't get people who are from the same places I'm from, right in Unionville, Pansy Avenue, where I first stayed as a kid, and those in Warner Robins, people who working people. If I can't get these people on my side, then I won't even consider.
Well, you've done an excellent job becoming a brigadier general at a young age, being in the service for more than 30 years. Congratulations on that, and we thank you for your service, because
Thank
it's
you.
very important that we have somebody that loves this country, and you seem to have all of that.
Thank you very much. And I tell you what, it's even better to have people that when I retired to come, and that there are great people, Evelyn, such as you and your husband, Pastor, and those who really love the country and really want to see that we are able to turn the United States around as it is the beacon of light in the world. When the United States is on top of its game, the rest of the world is at peace. When the United States is in trouble, then the rest of the world is in trouble.
And you've seen a lot of that in your 36 years, right?
Absolutely. Having lived in I've either lived or stayed in about 13 different countries. And I will tell your audience that you will not find a better place to stay than the United States of America. And we want to keep it that way.
One of the things, whenever I go overseas, I always think about kissing the ground when I get back to the United States.
Absolutely. And almost did that, especially after my deployment in Iraq, which was probably my toughest deployment in operational or combat environment. That was pretty tough. I can't tell you how thrilled I was when I saw the plane at Fort Benning when we landed, and the greenery on Fort Benning or in the area, as I was in a desert environment for the most part. So it was just a thrill to just make it back home. So I definitely agree with that. High five that moment.
It's like my daddy used to say, you don't have no right to grumble when you get back to the U.S. It's nothing like it.
Absolutely. And we say there are no praying people in the in the combat operations. Everybody's praying, so it's the same thing. So we we look forward to sharing a lot of that with with your audience, and I trust that mainly your listening audience will give me that opportunity to start talking about it now. It's 2 years from now, but I want to get started right now before there is a formal process that does not give you the opportunity to really reach out and touch everybody. People need to know who will be their leaders. They need to hear those who can make the difference in their lives. And I'm talking about your audience doesn't want to pay a lot of money for gas. Why are we paying so much money for gas right now when we have oil under our own feet, natural gas under our own feet? We have that, but we just can't go get it right now as a result of certain people in leadership. So there are a lot of things that we can change. So that's what I'm about.
Well, I'm looking forward to being able to get some of that gold liquid out of the ground because gas prices are just off the chain right now.
They are.
But not just gas, food too. It's like
See, that's a mainstay. Rich people aren't the only ones who like cheap food. People who are struggling like reasonable prices too.
right.
And as a result, I believe as a result of all this spending that we've done in the government has caused inflation, and that inflation has caused the increase of prices that you and I see when we go get grocery.
It's basic anything. When you go get anything now, it's like off the chain.
Absolutely. And some would question, well, can we actually do something about it? Yes. It means changing the policies that made us great. the policies that give each and every person the opportunity to succeed through reduced taxes or reasonable taxes, and giving our kids the opportunity to attend the best schools, and to encourage them to be the best that they can be, and then having all of our people to understand that we've got to figure out how to get along with everybody, black people and white people. We are one nation. We are a nation of one, and we've got to get back to that concept where we are just one, not two United States,
Right.
but one United State under God.
So when you start running, it's going to be 2 years from now or right away?
Well, the way that it works is that the actual election is in 2026 for the Senate seat that I'm talking about with John Ossoff. So I would actually have to start next year. I would actually have to formally make a determination next year, and I will do that, as I said, based on the drive from the people who look like me. Now, there are others for whom which I've already had discussions. I'm already talking all over the states in South Georgia, North Georgia, but I need to hear from people who look like me. I need to hear from you. I need to hear you what you're interested in. I need you to hear me so that you can fairly make a good determination that yes, we like this guy and this guy can support us in our issues.
Well, I certainly like this guy, and I do support you. So I just want you to go ahead and run, baby, run, because it's important that we have people that are in a like-minded state of,
Mm.
of voting in something that is so important for our nation. And our nation is under the tarp right now.
Hey, absolutely. I would even speak to those who are Christians, those who love God. I would tell you, even the Bible is clear. The nation, when the Bible says in Psalms, blessed is the nations whose God is Lord.
Mhm.
Uh, Not having people who are in positions of leadership who know and understand this will hurt the United States of America.
That's true.
So God brought us this far, and I believe that He will keep us, but we've got to keep Him in mind too. We want to thank Him, and we want to bless Him, and we want to do things His way. Evelyn, if I may add one more thing to that point, you hear the comments. There is a separation between state and church. I would tell you there is no way that we can ever separate ourselves from the love of God, and we don't want to. Now, I'm not asking people to be a Baptist or a Methodist or a Catholic or AME. I'm just saying we are a nation that believed in God, and it's incorporated in all of our official documents that made this nation great.
One of the things, you came from a very religious family, and your father was a pastor at one point in
Yes.
Flags Chapel in Milledgeville. So all you Milledgeville people, give us a holler here. And he also was a pastor with us. How does growing up as a PK kid?
That's good. If anybody knows about PKs, then you would probably say that those are some bad little kids. But I tell you what, we all of us have a little bit of bad in us. But I had the opportunity firsthand to see leadership from a man who, quite honestly, didn't have a college education,
Mm.
but God gave him something uniquely special to pastor the largest black attending church in Milledgeville, Georgia, without having a degree, but he was full of sound doctrine and wisdom that he did just a great job. And these people and the people at this church primarily were educators. But it just goes to show the power of God and what He can do. Now, I had the opportunity to witness that as a young man, to see how people's lives were changed and how they were bettered. And I even watch him rebuild a church that burned to the ground in 1973. And under his leadership, he was able to convince the people to reconstruct and build that church back in 1976. And right now, that church still stands, although you would never hear people mention a thing about it. On that slab is Harold Lucas McCollum Sr., but he was the leader who ensured that church was rebuilt, and it's grown to its size right now.
We're looking forward to you running for Senate, and we hope that the churches, and I'm inviting all of our audience on YouTube and Facebook and WDDO 107.9 or 980 AM. I'm inviting you to pay attention to this young man and watch him grow, because I think he's going to fly.
Well, thank you. I'm grateful for that. And I would say along the way, the Bible tells us to pray for the leaders of our country. And I would say to all of you in this listening audience, pray for our country.
Amen.
I just happen to believe that we're in a lot of trouble right now.
Well, no.
And I say that from the perspective of living outside of the United States and looking at where we are now, and the fundamentals, our beliefs are even being curved, and we're being changed by people who want to bring in a new kind of leadership that's inconsistent with godliness and inconsistent with just taking care of and looking after the people. So pray for our nation and pray that God will give us strong leaders. And while you're praying for them, pray for me that if it's God's will, that you will include me as one of your potential future leaders.
Well, we're going to certainly do that. Now, you can call us at 478-250-1444. And is there a way that if people want to support you, that they can contact you?
Yeah, right now I'm setting up and establishing the rest of my campaign mechanisms. Right now, if anybody would like to contact me, they can do so via email at jonathanmccallum@yahoo.com, and that's JONATHAN. That's Jonathan the way it's spelled in the Bible, the friend of David, without any dots. McCollum is spelled MCCOLUMN, like MC, and the column that holds a porch up the very same way. Jonathan McCollum at yahoo.com. And I can respond that way until my official email and my campaign mechanisms are set up.
Now, are you looking for people now to be a part of your campaign?
Yes, right now I've already built the force, I'll say the skeletons of my potential campaign right now. We're already meeting and engaging and planning and coordinating and trying to determine a process. And we agreed that this is the first process. First, getting people aboard the Jonathan McCollum, potentially Jonathan McCollum for Georgia U.S. Senate right now, so that when it's really time to go forward, then I can look over my right shoulder and see that there are a lot of people that are assisting to my right and to my left who are ready to engage and help make Georgia great and help bring in some of the goodness that we know about the United States.
And we know a lot of goodness about the United States, don't we?
As we do.
And I'm so excited for you to do this, because we need people of color to step out there with a clear mind and a good mind that can do this type of work. And so I'm excited for you, and I'm hoping now if somebody wanted to donate to you, they can contact you through Jonathan McCollum at Yahoo.
That's correct.
Okay, at yahoo.com.
That's correct.
Okay, so if you want to donate to him so that he can get busy on the advertisements and the radio and television ministry, that's a good thing. So please contact him. You can contact him today, or if you need to speak to him live right now, you can call us at 478-250-1444. And I think that he's going to represent us well. I'm already speaking it
Thank you.
into existence.
Yeah. And that's true. And while you're thinking, I would ask that you reach out to your friends and tell your friends that today you heard of a guy. He is a retired general officer from the military, and he's looking potentially at running for the Georgia U.S. Senate seat that's held by John Ossoff. That's 2 years from now. But he's trying to determine whether or not he's going to receive support from people that look like him. He's already have the support from others. So now I just want to build a stronger, build the tentacles that will reach out into my own culture and bring my culture aboard with me, so that we can look at the needs of of that. Now, with all in all truth, my intent is to look after all people. A leader has within his responsibility to have the concerns of everybody. You can't split the baby. You've got to be concerned about all people.
And it's good news too,
It is.
because that's what we need in the U.S. right now is
Absolutely.
somebody that's concerning for everybody. We have a phone call. Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Hello? Yes,
Yeah.
I can hear you. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Go ahead.
Yes. I would like to ask the, Mr. Jonathan, Brother Jonathan. I hear him and I like his talk. Anytime you're talking about putting God first, that's what we need. But what I wanted to ask is there anything in place that he could put about tenants and the way people are getting evicted? And I know maybe some have a right to be evicted, but it's just done got terrible here with people getting homeless. And it's not all people, it's not that all of them are not paying rent or whatever, but people just doing what they want to do now. And seems like nothing is in place for that. That's what I want to ask about.
Okay. Your question is a very. My mic is muted.
No, it's not. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. Your question is a very good one, and I would tell you this is how I would tackle that. I would put together what's called a multifunctional integrated team. And this team would comprise of private citizens, governmental authorities in the same city that you're talking about and in the county. And what I would do is I would task this team to come up with 3 courses of action on how we could assist those people who are being evicted. And then, of course, we would look at the full process to determine first why they were evicted, and if so, if it's legitimate or illegitimate. And if it even is a legitimate one, to determine how can we help people who are struggling and just want just a little help up, just a little bit of assistance to help them get over their difficult times right now, because when we're hurting, all of us are hurting, and we have to figure out we can't just discount people because they find themselves in a bad situation. All of us have been in bad situations, including myself. So I believe I will allow this team to come up with these 3 decisions with at least 3 courses of action. And because we have the right people involved, then we would seek to use one of those solutions to try to determine what we can. So what I did is I included the government, which is part of the process, but I've also included the private citizenry, which are teams in the city that could provide some assistance that the government can't provide, and then provide other people who are vital in the process to try to determine how we can help if we don't have a government solution and require a private solution or a solution that comes from even the church. How does that sound? Is that like a process that you think would work or could help?
Yes, it sounds good. I hadn't been evicted, but we renters now, we never know what the next day gonna bring. You don't have to be doing wrong. You don't have to be not paid your rent. They just, it just looked like they saying, well, we can do this and we gonna do this. And it's, I know, like I say, maybe some people don't pay their rent, but it's people, like I say, I'm gonna ask that rent. We are just.
Okay, we thank you for your call, and we are about to go off the air, but we're going to bring him back and let him talk more to
Thank
you.
you for joining
And
the
also
Issues
call
of
us
Life
soon.
broadcast
Thank
with
you.
your
Have a
host,
good day.
Evelyn.
Bye.
Be sure to tune in every Tuesday from 4:15 to 4:45 p.m. as she addresses the health, religious, and political issues that our communities face daily, right here on the Glory 107.9 FM, 980 AM, WDDO.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.